Marcus Andrews lived a simple, structured life. At 32, he worked as an IT technician in a quiet town, spent weekends tinkering with his car, and occasionally went out with his girlfriend, Tasha. Their relationship was casual but pleasant, nothing too serious, or so he thought. One Thursday afternoon, Marcus walked into the bank to open a new account. He had plans to save for a big purchase, his first home. As he handed his documents to the teller, he noticed the woman's eyes widen. "Mr. Andrews," the teller began cautiously, "it looks like you already have a joint account with us. Would you like to access that instead?" "Joint account?" Marcus frowned, confused. "No, I don't. I'm here to open a new one. That must be a mistake." The teller turned her screen toward him. Sure enough, there it was, a joint account under the name Marcus and Tasha Andrews. He froze. Andrews? Tasha didn't share his last name. He tried to think logically. Maybe it was someone else with the same names. But as he studied the details, his heart dropped. The account listed his address, social security number, and even his birth date. What is this?" Marcus stammered. "Looks like the account's been active for 3 years, the teller added. Marcus stumbled out of the bank, a storm of confusion and anger swirling in his mind. Tasha had never mentioned any joint account. But the bigger question burned in his mind: why did she have his last name? That night, he confronted her at their usual meeting spot, her small apartment. She greeted him warmly, but her smile faltered when she saw his expression. "Tasha," he started, his voice tight, "I went to the bank today. They said I already have a joint account with you." Her eyes darted to the side. "Oh, well, that's because—" "And," Marcus interrupted, his tone sharper. "Your last name is listed as Andrews. Care to explain why?" Tasha hesitated, but Marcus pressed on. "Am I missing something here? Because it looks like we're married." Her silence was deafening. She swallowed hard, wringing her hands. "Okay, Marcus, look, it's not what you think." "Oh, really?" he snapped. "Then explain how I'm married to you without my knowledge." She sighed, avoiding his piercing gaze. I didn't think you'd find out this way, but yes, we're legally married." Marcus felt his knees go weak. "How is that even possible? I didn't marry you." Tasha took a deep breath and began to unravel the truth. 3 years ago, she'd been desperate. Her ex had left her with a mountain of debt, and she needed to stabilize her life quickly. When Marcus casually left his wallet at her place one evening, she noticed his ID and birth certificate. That's when the plan took shape. "I found someone," she admitted. "A guy who looked like you. He was homeless, so I offered him $2,000 to come to the courthouse with me. We signed the papers and, well, we've been legally married since then." Marcus stared at her, utterly speechless. "You what?" he finally exploded. "You tricked me into a marriage? Paid some random guy to impersonate me?" "I didn't think it would matter," Tasha said defensively. "I thought maybe someday we'd make it official for real, and you never seemed serious about commitment, so I took matters into my own hands." Marcus's mind raced. He thought about every moment they'd spent together, every time she'd smiled at him, and every time she'd called him hers. It was all a lie. "I trusted you," he said, his voice low and trembling with anger. "And you've been lying to me for 3 years. Do you even realize how insane this is? Do you know how many laws you've broken?" Tasha stepped closer, tears forming in her eyes. "Marcus, please. I did it because I love you. I didn't want to lose you." "Love?" Marcus scoffed. "This isn't love, Tasha. This is manipulation, fraud, and honestly, I don't even know who you are anymore." He turned toward the door, his thoughts spiraling. "I need time to think. Don't contact me." As he left, Tasha collapsed onto the couch, her tears falling freely. Marcus, meanwhile, walked out into the cold night, feeling like the ground had been ripped out from under him. For the first time in his life, Marcus realized he didn't even know the person he had shared his life with. But now he knew one thing for certain: the road ahead was going to be anything but simple. 4-2.